The road to the Final Four ends tonight. 9 local teams hit the gridiron this weekend in search for a place in the state semifinals. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Friday Night Football Fever. I'm Pete Byrne.
And I'm Bennett Wise. 7 Northern Indiana teams battled for regional championships tonight across 6 classes, as did 2 area teams in Michigan, and that is where we begin in Niles, where the Vikings have already made history.
They certainly have. Last Friday, the Vikings won the first district title in program history, and they earned another home game, Bennett, which means tonight the entire community had a chance to gather for the biggest game that Viking Field has ever witnessed. It was standing room only. Literally, the stands were packed, the sidelines with people up along the fence. And boy, they were treated to a great game. Opening quarter, Niles on the march. Julian Means-Llewellyn goes 16 yards. Yes, sir, I see ya. Niles with a 7-0 lead after 1 quarter. But Portage would answer with a strong drive middle of the second quarter. Dominic Navarro, the quarterback, rolls out. He's got time. Finds his man in the back of the end zone. That is Evan Gross, tying the ball game at 7. It was tied at halftime and still tied 7-7 as we head to the fourth quarter. But after picking up a 4th and short conversion near midfield, Portland delivers a crusher here. Caden Thielen's going to break a couple tackles and take it all the way to the house, and Portland has a 14-7 lead. So Niles needs to answer, but they would fumble on their next possession, and now they need to stop, but they can't get it. Great play fake by the quarterback. Again, that's Navarra, and he's going to keep it himself, and that will seal the deal. Portland wins tonight 21-14. A great season comes to an end for Niles tonight in the regional finals. Also tonight in Michigan's Division 8, White Pigeon sees its season come to an end. They fall to Ottawa Lake Whiteford 54-6. And tomorrow, Constantine will look to punch its ticket into the state semifinals. The Falcons host Ovid Elsie at 1 o'clock. Now as we move on to Indiana, Bennett, the Penn Kingsman program certainly no stranger to deep runs in the postseason. When you think about Corey Yeoman's 21 seasons at the helm, the Kingsmen have advanced to the regional 13 times.
And tonight, Penn is at home hosting undefeated Crown Point in only the 4th ever meeting between the 2 programs, and the Kingsmen battling for its first regional title in 6 years. Penn would come out firing. Nolan McCullough has time, and Elijah Coker. Spectacular grab along the sideline, slipping free, a 35-yard touchdown to put the Kingsmen on the board. However, they would miss the extra point. Crown Point responds immediately with a 65-yard touchdown drive. The Bulldogs also struggle with the PAT, so we're tied at 6.
Hard to kick in the cold.
Yeah, it is. And next drive, Crown Point, Jacob Jones takes the screen, has blockers in the open lane, and he is gone. 73 yards on the pitch and catch, and turns it into a 13-6 ball game. Now, midway through the second, it's now 20-6. Corey Yeoman needing a pep talk with his guys, and it works. McCullough rolls out left, checks back right, and Tayshawn Bardo's got nobody on him. That makes it a 7-point game. Later in the fourth, Penn had a chance to win it on the final play, but it would miss a 44-yard field goal try, and the Kingsmen fall in heartbreak fashion, 34-33 to Crown Point.
Oh, that is a heartbreaking way to see it come to an end. As we move on to Class 5A, Mishawaka is hoping to avoid some recent history. For the 2nd year in a row, the Cavemen run into Fort Wayne Snyder in the regionals.
And last season, Mishawaka jumped out to a 21-0 lead, only to see it evaporate in a season-ending loss. And tonight, the Cavemen get a shot at revenge against the Panthers. Snyder would hold all the momentum early on. A methodic opening drives ends in a Uriah Buchanan 5-yard touchdown. The Panthers are up early. Then on the ensuing kickoff, you mentioned that cold could play a factor here as the ball's fumbled. Slippery. And Snyder picks it up and recovers. That would lead to a field goal, and Snyder has a 10-0 lead. Now, Mishawaka's in search of an answer, and when you need one, you go to your seniors. Brady Fisher to Ethan Bryce over the middle, turn on the Jets and go. A 68-yard pickup sets up shop just outside the red zone. The Cavemen will only muster a chip shot field goal, and it's just 10-3 right before the half. Now, Snyder did a good job stopping the Mishawaka run game all night long, so why not hit the skies again? Fisher over the top to Trey Thomas, 48 yards. That is a finalist for the highlight of the night. The Cavemen would not convert the 2-point try, and they would trail by 1 at the half, and Snyder would get the best of Mishawaka again. A buzzer-beating field goal as the Cavemen fall 19-18. Another heartbreaking loss for an area team.
Penn and Mishawaka. All right, well, the good news is Somebody's got to win this next one for us. As we move to Class 4A, a pair of traditional power squaring off tonight. Northwood hosting New Prairie. And kind of surprising, Ben, when you think about the recent success of these two programs, they've only met 3 times over the last 35 years.
Yeah, this will be the first game between the two since 2004. Northwood looking for its first regional title since they went all the way to the state finals in 2016. And New Prairie looking to go back-to-back. They made it to state last year.
That's right. They'd love to keep that going as we head to Andrews Field in Napanee, where the home crowd was ready to erupt tonight. And let me tell you, the Panthers gave them a lot to cheer on early. First quarter, Owen Rader rolling out, finds Seth Russell, who stays on his feet and takes it into the end zone. Panthers open up with a score, and they lead 7-0. Still in the first quarter, they let Nitro loose. Rader hits Tuggle on the slant, and in the open field, he is almost impossible to bring down. 66 yards, that's a finalist for the highlight of the night. Northwood up 14-0 after the first quarter. As we move to the second, they would continue to pile it on. Rader looking deep again. He's got Josiah Edmonds. He's not open, but that's not going to stop him. He catches it in triple coverage and goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line. And Rader's going to finish off the drive to put Northwood up 3 touchdowns. They are celebrating tonight in Napanee. Panthers lead wire to wire tonight and win the regional crown 38-14, the final score. So congrats to Northwood. They will now play for a semi-state title next week and a trip to state next Friday. They will head to Leo for that game. All right, we need to take a quick break, but there is still plenty more ahead here tonight on Friday Night Football Fever. Knox, LaVille, North Judson all take their shots at regional titles. We've got highlights from those 3 classes when Friday Night Football Fever returns. Welcome back to Friday Night Football Fever. Our cover of the Indiana Regionals moves along into Class 3A, where Knox looks to continue an undefeated season.
Yeah, and maybe get a little bit of payback, too. 1 year ago, Knox was eliminated in this very round by the very same opponent, and that would be with West Lafayette. Hoosier North champs took a bus ride down to West Lafayette for a regional rematch. Quarterback Miles McLaughlin was all over the place tonight for Knox. First quarter, he'll take it on the keeper. That's a gain of 33 yards, and the drives continues for Knox. And who else but McLaughlin from just inside the red zone? The line gets him the gap, and McLaughlin shoots it 17 yards on the touchdown score. McLaughlin had 5 touchdowns tonight as Knox wins the regional 41-23 over West Lafayette, and they will head to Indy Chittard next Friday in semi-state.
All right, now in Class 2A, LaVille has already matched its best season in decades. You have to go all the way back to 1982 for the last time the Lancers won the regional, their only regional crown.
Yeah, but this may be its best team since then in Jeff Kaiser's first year as head coach of the Lancers. They're 11-0 as they head south to face Lafayette Central Catholic.
They are having an amazing season. Unfortunately for the Lancers, they run into a tough opponent tonight, Lafayette Central Catholic. Scoreless ball game in the second quarter, but Central Catholic hits the deep throw, and that sets up 1st and goal. And there's Joey Metzger, the quarterback. Again, all sorts of time. Directed traffic hits Alec Hardebeck for the touchdown to make it a 6-0 game at halftime. Unfortunately for LaVille, they could never get that offense in gear tonight as Lafayette Central Catholic pulls away in the second half for a 22-0 win. Now in Class 1A, North Judson won the sectional title a week ago, returning to the regional where they too will meet a familiar opponent.
Yeah, last year the Blue Jays knocked off Park Tudor in the regionals, and tonight they'll look to do it again and go back to semi-state for the 3rd straight time.
Let's see if they can do it. Unlike a year ago, this year's Park Tudor squad is undefeated heading into the night and ready to play. Check this out. Opening one of the first plays of the game, they've got Park Tudor all the way down in their own 1-yard line, but Jack Clark is going to break a tackle inside the 5, totally switch fields, and look at the speed. He is going to go 99 yards to the house, and Park Tudor opens up with a touchdown and a 7-0 lead. However, North Judson would not go away. Justin McDaniel takes it himself, gets the Jays on the scoreboard. They go for 2 and convert, and they take an 8-7 lead. So we move to the second quarter, and the back-and-forth affair continues. Jack Clark for Park Tudor. Nice throw to Kason Ritz for the touchdown. And now it's a 13-8 game because their conversion again failed. But from this point on, North Judson just the better team. Brock Benson takes it into the end zone for the lead, which they would not relinquish. North Judson wins it tonight, 44-26 the final. So North Judson will head to Adams Central next Friday night in the semi-state. And that wraps up the action on the high school gridiron. I'm Pete Byrne for WSBT-22 News. For more local high school sports stories, like and subscribe to the WSBT-22 YouTube page.
Thanks for watching.